Ladies and gentlemen, life is a series of challenges, and one of the most common and destructive challenges we face is anger. Anger, frustration, irritation, all are emotions that can cloud our judgment, destroy relationships, and waste precious time. But here's the truth: we don't have to get angry. We don't have to be bothered. This control starts with understanding that we are the ones in charge of how we respond to others. Now, you might think it's impossible to never get angry. What about when someone cuts me off in traffic or says something rude? Let me tell you this: the key is not in controlling others, but in controlling yourself. You see, we often get angry because we give away our power. We let the actions of others dictate our emotional state. But if you truly want to live a life of peace, happiness, and success, you must take responsibility for your emotions. First, recognize that anger is a choice. No one can make you angry without your permission. The minute you stop reacting, you start living a life of control. That's the first step. If you can manage yourself, you can manage your interactions with others in a way that doesn't let them disturb your peace. Remember, life is too short to be constantly upset. Life is about progress, not about staying stuck in anger. If you choose not to be bothered by others, you're not just freeing yourself from anger, you're freeing yourself to do bigger and better things with your life. So let me give you 10 key principles to help you avoid getting angry or bothered by anyone. The situation may not be in your control, but your response is. Focus on how you react, not on what happens to you. Expecting others to behave a certain way sets you up for disappointment. When you stop expecting, you stop being disappointed. Often people's actions are more about them than about you. Remember, everyone has their struggles, and they may not be in a place to act with understanding or kindness. Don't take everything personally. People's behavior reflects their internal world, not yours. You can control your attitude, your thoughts, and your actions. The only thing truly in your control is your response. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and limit your exposure to negativity. Your environment influences your emotions. Gratitude shifts your mindset. When you focus on what you're thankful for, there's little room for anger. It's easy to get caught up in other people's drama, but you don't need to engage in it. Stay above the noise. Protect your peace by setting clear boundaries with people who trigger your anger. Don't allow anyone to take away your emotional calm. Being right doesn't always lead to happiness. Sometimes choosing peace over proving a point is the wisest decision. Life is filled with situations we cannot control. You can't control the weather, you can't control the traffic, and you certainly can't control other people's actions. But here's the secret: you have complete control over how you respond to them. That is where your power lies. Most people, when faced with a challenging situation, let their emotions take over. They react without thinking, and before they know it, they're angry, upset, or frustrated. The problem with this approach is that when you react, you're giving away your power. You're allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotional state. And that's a dangerous game to play. Think about it. How many times have you let something small like a rude comment or a delay in your plans completely ruin your day? How often have you allowed someone else's behavior to steal your peace? The truth is, the situation itself is often irrelevant. What matters is how you respond to it. The key to mastery in life is understanding that your response is yours to choose. You don't have to let the negativity of others, the chaos of life, or the frustration of the moment define your emotional state. You can choose how to react. And when you make the decision to respond with calmness, clarity, and control, you take back the power. When you take control of your response, you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You realize that what happens around you doesn't have to dictate what happens within you. That's true freedom. It's not about being passive or indifferent to what's happening. It's about understanding that your inner peace is your responsibility, and it's not for anyone or anything to take away. You don't have to react with anger, frustration, or disappointment. You can choose to stay calm, to pause and think before you respond, to take a step back and reassess. In doing so, you become the master of your own emotions, and the situation loses its power over you. Remember, life is not about controlling everything around you. It's about mastering your own responses. When you do this, you unlock a level of personal power and peace that most people will never experience. And that peace will carry you through the challenges of life with strength and resilience, no matter what comes your way. Expectations are a double-edged sword. On one hand, they can help you set goals, strive for better, and move forward in life. On the other hand, they can be a source of endless frustration, disappointment, and heartache. You see, when you set expectations, you create a blueprint for how things should be. The problem arises when the world doesn't follow your blueprint. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and when it doesn't, the gap between your expectations and reality can leave you feeling bitter, resentful, and stuck. The first thing you must understand is that expectations are not guarantees. Just because you think something should happen doesn't mean it will. People will disappoint you, circumstances will change, and plans will fall through. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you'll stop setting yourself up for unnecessary disappointment. It's not the world that's letting you down, it's the way you've set up your expectations. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you expected something from someone and felt hurt when they didn't meet your standards? How many times have you expected success to come quickly or easily, only to face delays, setbacks, and struggles? Expectations create an attachment to an outcome, and when that outcome doesn't materialize, you feel disheartened. It's a cycle that keeps you in a state of frustration. To move beyond this, you have to learn the art of letting go. Let go of the need for things to go exactly as you envisioned. Let go of the belief that people will always act the way you want them to. When you do this, you free yourself from the constant disappointment that comes when the world doesn't match your ideals. And most importantly, you open yourself up to the possibility of life being better than what you expected. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean you stop striving for success or improving your life. It simply means you stop tying your happiness to how or when things unfold. You stop relying on external circumstances to validate your peace and happiness. And when you do that, you unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment, because now you are living with an open mind, unburdened by disappointment, and fully engaged with whatever life has to offer. One of the most freeing realizations you can have in life is understanding that people have their own battles. You see, we often find ourselves frustrated, confused, or even angry when others don't behave the way we think they should. We expect them to treat us a certain way, to act with kindness, patience, and understanding, and when they don't, it feels like a personal attack. But here's the truth: most of the time, it has nothing to do with you at all. People are walking around with their own set of challenges, struggles, and emotional baggage. Each person is carrying a load that you can't see. They're fighting their own battles that you don't know anything about. That's why sometimes when you least expect it, people can be rude, distant, or short-tempered. It's not about you, it's about what they're dealing with in their own lives. The frustration or negativity they express is often just a reflection of the battles they're fighting internally. Now, this doesn't mean you should tolerate poor behavior or allow others to treat you badly. What it means is that you should develop an understanding and compassion for the fact that people may be dealing with things that you aren't aware of. Instead of taking offense, try to shift your perspective and remember that everyone is struggling with something. Everyone has their moments of pain, confusion, and frustration. And when they lash out, it often comes from a place of hurt, not hatred. Understanding this takes a great deal of emotional maturity. It takes the ability to step outside of your own world and recognize that others are going through their own struggles. When you embrace this mindset, you free yourself from the constant emotional roller coaster of trying to figure out why people do what they do. You stop taking things personally, and instead you approach situations with empathy and grace. Now, when you see someone acting out of character, you'll understand that it might not have anything to do with you. They may be dealing with stress at work, problems at home, health issues, or something far deeper that they've never shared with anyone. And knowing this, you can choose to react with understanding instead of anger or frustration. The power of this mindset shift is huge. It allows you to stop being emotionally tied to the behavior of others. You don't have to let their internal battles become yours. You can give them space to work through their struggles without taking their pain on as your own. And in doing so, you maintain your own peace and mental clarity rather than letting the chaos of others disrupt your own life. This perspective also makes life easier. When you stop taking everything personally, you start to live with less judgment and more understanding. You don't waste energy trying to figure out why someone did what they did or why they acted the way they did. Instead, you recognize that everyone is doing the best they can with the tools they have at the moment. And that's the best you can ask for. By understanding that people have their own battles, you create a deeper sense of compassion for others, and more importantly, you create more peace in your own life. You stop getting caught up in the noise of other people's struggles and focus on how you can respond in a way that preserves your own happiness. In the end, this understanding will not only make your interactions with others more fulfilling, but will also make your journey through life much smoother and more meaningful. Mastering the art of detachment is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. It's about learning to separate yourself from the emotional weight that comes with your experiences, your relationships, and even your expectations. Detachment doesn't mean indifference or lack of care. It means that you no longer let external circumstances control your inner state of peace and happiness. It means you gain the ability to look at situations objectively without being swept away by the emotional tide. Think about the last time you got upset over something. Maybe it was a disagreement with a friend, a setback at work, or something that didn't go according to plan. The anger, frustration, or disappointment you felt, that's the emotional weight. And it's this weight that can hold you back, make you react impulsively, or even get stuck in a negative mindset. Detachment helps you lift that weight. So things will happen that you can't change, people will act in ways that you can't predict, and outcomes will occur that are beyond your control. But how you respond to these events is entirely in your hands. Detachment teaches you to respond with clarity, to choose your reaction, and to maintain control over your emotions. One of the key aspects of detachment is the understanding that not everything needs to be fixed. You don't have to solve every problem or make every situation perfect. Life isn't about managing every single detail, it's about managing yourself through the ups and downs. When you detach, you can accept the imperfection in the world around you and still maintain a sense of peace. You don't get caught up in the need to make things right all the time. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your mindset, your attitude, and your actions. Detachment also gives you the freedom to release any attachment to the outcome. Too often, we tie our happiness to a specific result, a promotion at work, a specific person treating us well, or a situation unfolding the way we plan. When things don't go according to our expectations, we feel disappointed or upset. Detachment allows you to detach from that outcome. It doesn't mean you stop working hard, striving for success, or caring about others. It simply means that your happiness is no longer tied to whether or not you get what you want. You can be content regardless of the results because your peace comes from within, not from external circumstances. This doesn't mean you stop caring or trying. It means you do everything you can, then release your grip on the situation. Trust that things will work out as they're meant to, and that you will learn from whatever happens. It's about putting in the effort without becoming emotionally entangled in the outcome. When you master detachment, you stop allowing life's challenges to derail you. You can move through difficulties with calmness and poise because you've already accepted that struggle is a part of life. You don't waste energy worrying about things you can't control, and instead you focus on what you can do, which is how you show up, how you respond, and how you move forward. Ultimately, detachment isn't about withdrawing from the world or avoiding responsibility. It's about finding balance. It's about realizing that while you can't control what others do or what life throws at you, you can control your perspective, your attitude, and your reaction. When you stop attaching your emotional well-being to every little thing that happens, you become stronger, more resilient, and more peaceful. And that's a power that no one and nothing can take from you. In life, one of the most liberating realizations you can have is that you can't control everything. There are countless factors outside of your control: other people's actions, the economy, the weather, and events that come at you from every direction. It's easy to get caught up in these uncontrollable factors and feel helpless, frustrated, or anxious. But here's the secret: while you can't control what happens outside of you, you can absolutely control how you respond to it. Focus on what you can control. You can control your attitude, your mindset, and your decisions. You can control your habits, your actions, and the way you show up in the world. You have power over your thoughts, your energy, and your emotions. That's where your attention should be. When you focus on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on things you have no influence over. Think about how much mental and emotional energy is drained when you try to control outcomes, people, or situations that are beyond your reach. The key to a successful, fulfilling life is realizing that your energy is precious, and you should invest it in areas where you have the greatest influence yourself. Too many people waste years of their lives trying to change things they can't change. They try to control the people around them. They argue with circumstances they can't alter, or they spend time worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. All of this is energy that could be better spent on improving yourself and moving forward in the direction of your goals. When you put your energy into what you can control, you begin to create the life you want step by step, day by day. Start with your attitude. You can control how you view any situation. You can choose to see obstacles as opportunities or setbacks as stepping stones. Your perspective shapes your reality, and when you choose to focus on the positive, you unlock a mindset that will guide you towards success, no matter what challenges come your way. Next, focus on your actions. It's easy to get distracted by things outside your control, but when you focus on what you can do, you start taking meaningful steps toward your goals. Take responsibility for your progress. Whether it's your work ethic, your health, or your relationships, the way you show up matters. If you take consistent, deliberate action in the areas you control, you'll start to see results no matter what's happening around you. Also, focus on your growth. You are in control of how much you learn, how much you develop, and how much you improve yourself. The world is constantly changing, and you can't control that, but you can control your ability to adapt and grow with it. Every skill you develop, every lesson you learn, and every piece of knowledge you gain is within your control. When you focus on growth, you position yourself for success, regardless of what external factors come into play. Remember, life is full of variables, things you can't predict or manage, but your attitude, your habits, your actions, and your growth are the constants. These are the things you can mold, shape, and build on. When you focus on what you can control, you become a person of power. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start living like someone who's actively creating their future. It's time to stop getting bogged down by the things you can't change. Shift your energy into what you can control: your mindset, your habits, and your actions. By doing so, you take the reins of your life, and every step forward becomes a step toward the success and fulfillment you've always wanted. If you want to live a life of peace and success, you must create an environment that fosters both. Your environment has a profound influence on your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's like the soil in which a plant grows. If the soil is fertile, the plant will thrive. If it's dry and barren, the plant will struggle to survive. In the same way, the environment you surround yourself with determines the quality of your life. First, understand this: your environment isn't just about the physical space you occupy. It includes the people you interact with, the media you consume, and the ideas you're exposed to on a daily basis. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, chaos, or people who bring you down, it will be much harder to find inner peace and focus on your goals. On the other hand, if you deliberately choose to cultivate an environment that supports your growth, your aspirations, and your mental well-being, you'll be much more likely to achieve success and live a fulfilling life. Let's start with the people you spend your time with. Look around at your inner circle. Are these people lifting you up? Are they inspiring you to become the best version of yourself? Or are they holding you back with negativity, doubt, or gossip? The people you spend the most time with have a direct influence on your mindset and energy. If your circle consists of people who complain, criticize, or drain your energy, it's time to make a change. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, encourage you, and align with the kind of person you want to become. You want to be around people who inspire you to think bigger, act bolder, and rise higher. Next, take a look at your physical environment. The space you inhabit should be conducive to peace and productivity. If your home or workspace is cluttered, chaotic, or disorganized, it can create mental clutter as well. A cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. So take the time to organize your space, simplify your surroundings, and create an environment that fosters clarity and focus. The act of tidying up is not just physical, it's mental as well. When you clear your space, you clear your mind, and you allow room for creativity, focus, and peace. Another aspect of your environment is the media you consume. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with news, social media, and information. Much of it is negative, sensational, and designed to provoke strong emotional reactions. If you want to create a peaceful environment, it's essential to be selective about the information you expose yourself to. Choose to fill your mind with content that enriches you: books, podcasts, motivational videos, or anything that fuels your growth and inspires positivity. Remember, what you feed your mind will shape your thoughts and actions. If you feed it negativity, you'll become negative. If you feed it positivity, it will help you maintain a mindset that's focused on growth, success, and peace. You should also consider the energy you bring to your environment. Your energy, your mood, attitude, and presence is contagious. When you enter a room, you can either uplift the space or bring it down. If you want to create a peaceful environment, start with yourself. Cultivate inner peace, and you'll radiate it to others. Practice gratitude, focus on the positives in life, and approach each day with a calm, positive attitude. When you do this, you not only improve your own state of mind, but you also influence the people and surroundings around you. And don't forget about your habits. The daily rituals you establish in your life, how you spend your mornings, how you organize your day, and how you unwind at night all contribute to the kind of environment you create. Peace comes from routine. The right habits provide structure, stability, and a sense of control. Whether it's exercise, meditation, reading, or simply taking time to reflect, creating positive habits is an essential part of building an environment that supports peace and success. Ultimately, creating a peaceful environment is about being intentional with the people, the spaces, and the experiences you allow into your life. The more you surround yourself with peace, the more it will become a natural part of who you are. And when peace becomes your default state, success, happiness, and fulfillment follow naturally because you are now aligned with the environment that supports your greatest potential. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your life. It's simple, Yet it has the ability to transform your mindset, your relationships, and ultimately your entire life. Too often, we focus on what we don't have, what we've yet to achieve, and what's going wrong in our lives. But the key to success, happiness, and fulfillment isn't found in what you lack, it's in what you already have. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to appreciation, and that shift is the game changer. The first thing you need to realize is that gratitude isn't something you do just when things are going well. It's not about waiting for perfect circumstances to show up in order to feel thankful. True gratitude is a habit, a mindset, and a daily practice that allows you to see the good in every situation, even when things aren't going your way. Life isn't always easy. It's full of challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. But gratitude allows you to rise above the difficulties and find something positive, even in the most trying times. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you begin to focus on what's right. Gratitude helps you shift your perspective. Think about how much time you spend focusing on problems or disappointments. The human mind has a tendency to zero in on the negative, but that's a choice you can make to change. When you train yourself to look for things to be grateful for, you start seeing opportunities, blessings, and lessons in places you would have otherwise overlooked.